Last time we reached this position, black attaches out, right? How should we understand this move? White jumps here, and from black's point of view, black must have one feeling: rise up and counterattack. If black simply lets white press him down this easily, the position is definitely not optimistic. So to play good Go, you need a very sharp feeling for the game. Last time we said black should attach out directly. Now if black attaches out, white can push and cut. First, white has many cutting methods. You must read them clearly. Go is played by calculation. The first is white's hain and cut. The second is white's push and cut. White has two ways to cut. The first is the push and cut. Now, students, if you have read out both of white's cuts, choose A. If you are not afraid of either push and cut or hain and cut, choose A. If there is one line you cannot read, if you think, Teacher Liu, I cannot calculate one part, choose B. White has two strongest counterattacks, the push and cut and the hain and cut. If you can read both, choose A. If one is unclear, choose B. If both are unclear, choose C. Let us look at this position. It is actually not too hard. Which cut are you most afraid of? White's push and cut at A, or white's hain and cut at B? Not afraid of either? That is pretty good. More people are afraid of the hain and cut. Are you not afraid of the push and cut? What happens after the hain and cut? If white hains and then retreats, black can hain once, then hain again. At least black comes out from here, captures two white stones, and gains something toward the top. If white hains and blocks, black can Atari and connect. I think that result is also fine. Black can even hain first on the second line. Then Atari, if you cannot ladder me, then I can run. If you try to net me, that still does not kill me. With the exchanges at 5 and 6, black still has chances to escape. So is white's push and cut really severe? Students, is the push and cut severe? Those who are not afraid of it, raise your hands and explain why. Zhao Ma, you are not afraid of the push and cut.
Not afraid.
Then come on. If I block you, what do you do?
I block you. Then I Atari it and attach underneath.
I Atari. I capture this stone.
Then your set is finished. Of course my gain is bigger.
Exactly. So you have already compared the gains. Very good. Your calculation is fast and clear. Against the push and cut, black can Atari and block. That is the simplest answer. This is not even much of a trade. It is basically white dying for free. That line does not work for white. So last class, when we talked about the attach and hang, I spoke quickly at the end, but the point was, at least black can run out. After the position changes, one student, I think it was Zaining, suggested attaching out from here. Let us evaluate this attachment. Is it severe? Choose a if white is worried. Teacher Liu, I cannot immediately see how to handle this attachment. Choose B if white is not worried. I have a good plan. Choose C if you simply cannot read it clearly. A means white is afraid, B means white is not afraid, C means you cannot calculate it. So what are the cutting methods? One is the push and cut, the other is the thrust and cut. Which one should white use? Let us compare the continuations. This student's move looks like taking sides in a fight. What does that mean? Two people are fighting, and you are secretly helping white. When black attaches out, white hangs here, then black insists on rushing inside, gets Atari'd, and once white cuts, black visibly collapses. Whether it is these 3 stones or those 2 stones, one side is going to die. That is clearly helping white. As a top referee, you have to keep the fight balanced. If black cuts on the left instead, that is no longer taking sides, because white cannot kill the bottom. That is a more normal fight. This becomes more complicated. Black may also play the solid connection. At one glance, you cannot see a clear result. It becomes an unclear position. Now let us look at the push and cut. 2 students chose the simple answer. Atari, then block, white Ataris, then jumps. Can we read this result clearly? Black can only Atari here, then block, and then black has to Atari again if both sides live. Who scores better? White should not be afraid. White lives on the side and only has one weak group outside. If black is not satisfied with both sides living, then it becomes a capturing race. Can black win that capturing race? My first instinct is that white does not look dead. It should be Seiki. White has a straight 2, and black has a bent 3 style I shape. White bends once, black blocks, white blocks again, or throws in and then blocks. That gives black the largest possible eye space, but it still looks like Seiki. Clearly, if the game becomes this, white should be satisfied. This is something we can calculate clearly. There is another good answer. Once you see white cannot be killed, white can simply stand. That was Zaining's answer. After this Atari, black of course cannot just die. Black runs. This is Zaining's variation. White attaches again. This is a very precise line, but we would say that black's breakout plan has failed. Black's army tried to break through, but got pressed back in again. If black tries to run, the latter is unfavorable. White has this attachment, the same attachment Zaining showed earlier. If black tries to thrust out, pay attention. White must play the single squeeze. If white finds that, that is a strong player move. If our students just ram forward without thinking, they may say, "Teacher Liu, I caught you, but why do I call that brainless?" You capture these 2 stones, but your outside gets crushed. That is not profitable. Can you read this clearly? White cannot afford to lose that much. So pay attention. White cannot lose too much. After black attaches, white should play the single squeeze. That way white loses far less. If black extends, white Atari's underneath. The outside is completely different now. Most importantly, white can stand here and capture. So white lives immediately. Earlier, white was being Atari'd by black. The main theme of this lesson is, attach out with full fighting spirit. Look for the timing to fight. Do not just let the opponent press you down. All right, let us rest early. We will continue in the second half. Take 5 minutes.